Camilla Marcus, my dear friend of 20 years, celebrity chef, going on tour with your first cookbook, budding entrepreneur, and mother of four. Good.
I always say to Claire, always and never. Maybe that's exactly my version of balance.
Always and never. Camilla Marcus, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi.
Hi, babe.
Hi.
Thanks for being here.
I'm so excited.
It's so fun to be with the celebrity chef of the hour.
You're very sweet. You're very sweet. Number one fan since 19?
Since 2003, we've been reciprocal number one fans of each other.
Exactly.
It's been 2003, right?
Yeah, long time.
Or 2004?
I don't know. I've lost track and,
Oh, 2004. We're going on
number.
20 years of friendship.
I know. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. We are going to talk about balance, keeping it real, and doing it all, a complete mystery. You just released a cookbook.
Yes.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you. I always say to people, I think it's the best, worst thing you can do. Publishing's really hard. It's a really long process, but it's also there's something very special about obviously having something tangible. It's this time capsule of a moment in your life that is forever bound that you can look at and be in everyone's home, but it's wild.
I was driving to an event last night that I knew I was going to see you at, and I was driving through my old neighborhood in Beverly Hills on the block where your mother grew up, and I thought to myself, wow, I'm someone who has friends who write books. I think I've made it.
Oh.
Because I feel like I surround myself, or I'm trying to actively surround myself with doers.
Yeah.
And I see you as a doer. I mean, you have 4 kids, one of which is 10 weeks old.
Yeah. I know.
My goddaughter. And you have a marriage that you've had a partnership for over 20 years. And you have become an amazing celebrity chef. Yeah, I mean, you do it all. You had a major restaurant in New York City, and you continue to grow the brand digitally through media, through now the book. What? It just feels like you do it all, and I know how you do it all because I kind of see you do it all, and I'm in constant awe of your grace. And how you always show up for everybody.
I try.
How do you do it?
Well, first of all, balance is bullshit, and we all know that. I don't know if I'm allowed to swear on
You can
camera,
do whatever
but,
you want.
You can bleep me later. I always say, again, I think we are taught these paradigms of, right, so balance is supposed to be the goal, but why? And it doesn't really exist. It's like juggling, right? There's going to be some balls on the floor and you pick them up and you drop others and you try and keep some stuff in the air. But maybe isn't that the goal of life? To actually lean into and embrace that exhilaration. I think at my core, and I only recently started to sort of come to terms with this, I've always been an extreme sports enthusiast. I solo skydived when I was 18 by myself with my dad, but not tandem.
Well, your
literally
dad
jumped
is
out
an
of a plane.
extreme sports, and apples don't fall far.
Exactly. But I do think there's this high octane thrill. So I actually thrive and enjoy. I feel my heart racing. I pretty much every day I'm how am I going to get it all done? And what is going on and what did I sign myself up for? But then if I take that extra moment, I'm yeah, but I'm enjoying this. And the craziness of being on the edge of it all falling apart, I think is
Keeps
my
you
joy.
alive.
Yes,
Keeps you balanced.
It is. But I actually think it's the anti-balance.
Wait, I love that. I never heard you say that.
Because I actually think I hate things being smooth. I'm actually more afraid of things being stable. I don't know. Maybe that makes me a lunatic, but I've only recently realized I actually don't thrive or feel comfortable when things are simple. And I don't think my like joy for life is when things are calm. Like they're just not.
You like it when you're juggling, when you're.
And I'm constantly adding. I mean, literally, I mean, obviously you can't plan for any of a baby. And
no, but you can.
I went, no.
You got pregnant and then you planned to release the book. Like.
No, the publisher picks the date. You don't pick the date.
Oh.
No. And in fact, my publisher was like, so we saw that you're pregnant. I'm like, that puts you at about 8 weeks before the cookbook tour. Like, what are we going to do? So
when you had the baby.
When I had the baby. So no, I mean, well, like, you know, I mean, I shot the cookbook in 4 days. It was kind of the only, like, I could only sacrifice 4 full days. So that's what we did. And we were just like, I don't care if it's 20 hours. We're going to thank you, Ben, our photographer. I was like, I got 4 days. How long can you stand on your feet and survive? And our crew, everyone's amazing. And I was like, look, I have 4 days. It's going to be rodeo style. It's crazy. But I literally finished. And that week I was in the process of IVF and they're like, the implants the next day. And I'm like, no. Can I do it in like 3 days? Like, I got to rest and rejuvenate. Can I do it 3 days later? They're like, it's not how it works, right? Like the hormone levels give you that window. There's not even a day flexibility. And in fact, it was ridiculous. Josh, my husband, never travels for work. The one day that entire year he had to go on a work trip was the last day of the cookbook shoot, which is like all the family photos, which is why he's not in them. And literally my mom came to do the implant because he was gone. And I was like, the one day, like, Josh is not, I mean, and he would move mountains for things for me. Of course. We were both like, but like, that's how the cookie crumbles, right? Isn't that life? Like,
but I think
you got it figured out and someone kicks you in the ass.
But you show up for the cookie and the crumbling. Like, and
I decided a long time ago, it's easier to say no. And I hate the word no. My team knows.
Like, it's easier to say no.
So much easier
than just saying yes, and be steamrolled by life.
Saying yes.
People have a hard time saying yes?
Yes, I do.
I think people have a hard time saying no.
Well,
what do you mean? What do you mean?
I think that when things are uncomfortable or you feel overloaded or you're not sure, like people say to me, how can you have 4 kids? I go, look, it's not like it's a walk in the park. It's madness. Like, one person screaming and crying is not all of them at all times.
Right.
You just have to be like, I tell my kids all the time, this is for later. Like, this is totally chaotic as having young children very close in age.
This chaos is for later.
But later, when you have a baked-in village, you'll thank me later. And like, I can live through the short-term insanity. I think it's easier to be like, I guess when I say it's easier to say no, it's easier to come up with reasons not to do something. Like, I'm tired, I'm busy, I don't know how to do that, I'm not sure, can I handle it? I hear that a lot from women. Like, I just don't know that I can handle all that. And I said, well, you don't know until you try. And also, I sort of feel like, what's the worst? I think I just give less fucks. I care less. I don't really care what other people think. I don't really feel, I don't want to be limited. And I don't want to say no because it's hard to figure out, or I'm busy, or I'm not sure how it's all going to work out.
You don't want to
learn something.
Right. It's like being out of control. It's kind of where you're comfortable.
I do not want to be in control.
Correct.
Yeah.
I feel like that's why
what I mean by it's easier to say no. I think people want things to be like,
it's easier to say no to life.
Yeah. And they want it to be planned and they want it to be packaged and they want it to be organized. I don't know. And have some sort of,
stability and security.
Totally. I think my flow state is being just totally chaotic. I like the thrill. I do. I mean, even when people never believe me, but my team, anyone who's ever cooked with me will tell you, like, I don't really, I mean, even that I created a cookbook, like, I don't do recipes. I can't. It's like it feels like being strangled by organization. I don't like recipes. It was a real feat. Hi, Joey, who basically I was like, watch me while I cook and tell me what I did because I don't really know.
And make a recipe.
I mean, literally everyone on the cookbook shoot was like, okay, like we did this. Like, I don't really know.
Some salt.
Yeah. But when I cook, even for major brands, like I worked on this really amazing dinner right before I had my last child. It was 50-person seated multi-course dinner, like for a brand I'm obsessed with. And every single dish I'd never cooked before. And then I'm in charge of helping like 20 people in the kitchen and the brigade, like execute. I'm sort of like, it's supposed to be like this, it's supposed to be like that. I'm not handing out recipes. I don't try and true it. I don't know. I'm sick. But I genuinely enjoy I think if like I had to cook the same things at the same meals, even though I know I could bank on the execution, it's like soul sucking. I really can't.
Yeah.
But people who cook with me, they're like, this is crazy. Like,
They're like, what are you doing?
You're really going to like bank on this brand that you've never cooked this dish before, let alone for 50 people for a full seated dinner and like this huge production. I'm like, let's have fun.
The spontaneity keeps you alive.
I need it.
I feel the same way. When I'm on stage, I need to like change the key halfway through with a band, because what's the fun if it's not kind of weird? Like, it has to be unplanned.
Totally.
But I've realized that it's not everyone's cup of tea.
Definitely not. Well, you don't need to. I mean, I shoot everyone straight. Like I'm a machete. I always say, like, I'm a machete of a personality. It's not for everyone.
Yeah, you have so many friends, and your community knows no end.
Giving is my love language. That's the hospitality person in me. I think everyone who works in restaurants or who works in food service, like, you live to take care of other people. I really do. Like, I'm definitely a caregiver. I think my biggest lesson and learnings for talking about, balance or anti-balance, I have a very hard time asking for help.
I know you do.
That, I always say to people, your greatest strength is your greatest weakness. Every single person's superpower is also their Achilles heel.
Oh, wow.
And it's just like where it's dialed up or dialed down. And I mean, mine for sure, I have a very hard time asking for help. I'm a great delegator, which is ironic. And that's probably how I do it all to the outside world.
Right.
I'm not a control freak. I'm actually not type A, despite what I think seems on the outside.
I don't think you're type A.
But people don't know me think I am. And they're actually surprised to hear that Josh is. I'm like, no, he's actually more the like, meaning I could be like, do this. And maybe it's not done exactly as I would have done it, but I don't actually care. I won't redo it. I don't like think about it or stew with it, which I do think.
Done is good enough.
Yeah. Like, don't let perfect be the enemy of good. I'm very comfortable having different people do things. And I do think that's also my core competency, is being like, okay, we've got 80,000 things we're going to do today. Like, even yesterday, like middle of the day, we did a play date for my daughter who's new in her class, because I need her, like,
you hosted how many people in the middle of her LA book tour?
40.
I called her and I said, we need to prep for the questions. And she said, I can't talk. And I said, no, it's just 1 minute. It's just not like and she was like, just figure it out. I'm hosting. I said, what are you hosting? She was like, oh, I have all the kids here from Indy's class. I was like, I'll call you later.
But that's a great example of like, okay, like, I want to record with you. I'm an open book, so I don't really feel like I need to be. I don't need to do that.
But I wanted
to go through questions.
But you gave me the answer by not giving me anything. By just saying, I said, okay, we're going to talk about balance. How she kind of, okay, let's go, juggles it all and does it, and you don't care. And I think that, you have a vision. I remember, if I can share, before you were pregnant, I had a son who was not 2, maybe 2.5, watching television, couldn't speak, watching, that was how I got him to not have tantrums in front of other people. And we'd known each other for a long time, and you walked in and I was like, okay, guys, it's time to have kids. Are we having kids, Josh and Cam? Like, let's go. What's happening? And you just said, not yet, but we're going to have a boy, a girl, and then another boy and a girl. You always knew you wanted 4. You knew you wanted the sex. I mean, that takes a level of organization and planning, that there was no spontaneity in that.
Well, the only reason I would disagree is the reason we waited so long to have kids is Josh and I were separated. I've been very public about it after the fact. In fact, he didn't want to talk about it. You know me. I would I don't know. I'm air my dirty laundry. You want to see my knickers? I got it.
Because you guys have overcome so much, and you're such a successful couple. You're probably one of the most successful couples that I know, that's so honest with each other, that can be in a room and say, what a gorgeous, hot guy. What a beautiful, and no one's getting jealous. I mean, if I did that with Greg.
I know. Well, I mean, even that, just meaning to me, that was the spontaneity in the kids, was like, I did not expect to have 31 to 30/31 to 34.
We
weren't together. we were separated, but we agreed not to date anyone else. Like we had a lot
For
of ground
3
rules.
years.
No, we were fully separated for a year. But I said to him, I can't jump into like having kids. Like, you know, you have this big rift and then you come together. You need to like reset the foundation. So it was another year to be like, okay, we really are back together. I feel like okay bringing kids into this. This is like, it can't get worse than what just happened. So like now we feel good. And then I had a really hard time getting pregnant. So it was another year. So, you know, I think a lot of people are like, I at your birthday, someone said to me, you can't tell people that you had fertility issues, you have 4 kids. And I said, let me tell you.
Like, oh,
I was like,
God.
I'm sorry, but you don't get to take away the fact that, again, I was on a cookbook shoot. I was writing my cookbook, organizing all that every single day, taking many, many shots with my kids. And, you know, even that, you asked about balance. How do I do it? I decided, you know what? Having children is hard for me. Getting pregnant is hard for me. My last was well over a year. It was way longer than I had thought. I had to refreeze my eggs.
Yeah.
Well, I had eggs on ice. None of them took. I decided to do rounds of IUI. Then we just decided to like go back to the drawing board and reharvest eggs. You know, a lot of people would have given up at stage 1, 2. In fact, honestly, we almost got divorced in that process again. Josh was like, this is hard. And I think I'm good with 3. And I was like, I'm sorry, is it hard for you to watch me take a million shots? Like, what's hard for you? I'm going to the doctor every day. I'm taking shots.
He's
I'm
also going through
drawn.
it with you, with him. I'm not.
Yes. But I'm just saying, like, for me, I was like, I think I'm the one that should be the one that's
Correct.
like, we're on
Yeah.
or off. But again, a lot of people would have given up. I chose not to. I didn't like halt my book, delay my book. I didn't say I can't do that shoot. I didn't cancel things. Like
You
I
didn't
still
cancel
showed
things.
up.
I'm so proud
Do you know
of
how many
you.
times I've taken, you know, shots in restaurant bathrooms at friends' birthdays? Like they wouldn't know. I'm not sitting there being like, I'm in the middle of IVF and my shots are in my bag and I'm like, I came for you. Because then like, how would you feel? Like I came to your birthday and I'm crying. Like, then why even show up? Like you got to show up in the right way. So I don't know. I think for me, it's just, I don't let challenges get in the way. I don't mind getting knocked down a million times. I will still get back up. Like no one is going to tell me, like, no one's going to tell me what's what. And honestly, when Josh said he's done, I said, look, I have been by your side for 15 years. I went through hell and high water to save our marriage for us. You're an amazing, amazing dad. If you don't give me a 4th kid, I will always be mad at you. And so the truth is, our marriage will crumble from the inside or out because I will resent you. I do want a 4th, and I understand why you don't. I'm also fine saying, you give me a 4th kid, we part ways, all the children deserve to have you as the dad, and we'll like figure it out from there. And truly, and I said, I really do believe that because you get to decide. You could go on and at 50 decide you want kids. Women don't get that choice. So if you do that and you take that away from me, I know I won't be able to stay married to you because that anger will eat me from the inside out. So you have to decide, like, either we stay married and we have 4 kids or we're not married and we have 4 kids. But like the non-4 kid is like, that option went out the window when you signed on the dotted line 3 years ago. And I have friends who are like, you did not say that. And I'm like, why are we holding things in?
Especially with our partners.
Well, when you hold it in, the marriage is going to crumble anyway.
Well, is it? Or you can just act like I do.
But I can't. I can't. You know me. I'm a machete. I can't act for 1 second.
Oh God, this is terrible. Why am I interviewing? This is bringing so much up. I just feel like it's hard for me to always be real and to be honest with myself so that I can be honest with others, especially my partner, because I don't want to scare him away. But yeah, I want more kids.
I think
and
everyone needs to play life with nothing to lose. You only get 1 life. And you know more than anyone. You only get 1 life.
So is that
you gotta play to win. You can't play with fear to lose. I really believe that.
I know.
And I think that's even in careers.
Sometimes
right?
I play it with like fear of keeping it together. You know what I mean? Or just kind of like.
But to what end? I don't know. I mean, I said to Josh, like, you're a great dad. We will always be linked no matter what. We're already linked.
You were ready to bounce after 3 kids if he wasn't going to give you a 4th.
No. I said, I want to be clear. I have embryos on ice. Like, I own it. Like, the chance, like, the question of us having a 4th kid is actually, like, not your choice.
I know,
The question is whether we stay together and we do
my
it.
family
But I'm not
says
giving you that choice.
it's not Greg's decision, it's yours. Just get pregnant.
Side note, true. I mean, to be honest, even when we were having so many troubles conceiving our first, I was like, I should just never have told you. Like, he was so anxious about it. He had such a hard time. I was like, I should have just lied and just gotten pregnant anyway. I actually think we would have conceived better.
Well, there would have been a lot less stress.
Totally.
This is how we balance things, or don't balance them.
Again, I think it's like I think exactly what you said is this like unrealistic. I don't even know where it comes from. I don't know who taught us these things. Unrealistic obsession with like the calm, right? Like, why do we need the waters to be like that? When are the waters ever like that? Almost never.
Never.
Only if we're pretending.
Yeah.
So it's funny that we like gear our lives toward this sort of falsehood of, you know, serenity. Like, it's not even real. No one has that.
No, not even if you live in an ashram.
No one has that. I mean, no matter what your practice, I mean, the other like flip side of all this is with that too, you have to also be willing to be selfish. I sleep 8 to 9 hours a night. I legitimately cannot function on less.
Yeah,
I will get sick.
Yeah.
I will not be able to get out of it. Like my body, I have a very weak immune system. I always have since I was a kid.
You need to sleep.
I have to sleep.
I need to sleep too. But maybe not as much as you.
And I have to travel. I get very anxious when I'm in one place.
Do you think it's escapism or you need to go?
Totally. Of course.
You're like, fuck these 4 kids. Love you. Bye.
But again, I look at it differently. I look at it as I'm giving my kids the gift of independence. I'm giving them the gift of secure attachment. It's good to flip it. Which isn't like being codependent.
Yeah.
It's not about being together. It's quality over quantity. It's not about being together all the time.
You're very present. I mean.
But that's my other trade-off. So like I was in New York on the book tour. I mean, I'm going to share this because I just love this. Claire texts me, Beach Monday is a holiday, but my kids were not off at school. And I just come back from New York on the kickoff of the book tour. And you're like, Beach Monday.
I was like, let's go.
Yeah.
It was Indigenous Peoples Day.
Yes. But I said to my kids, we're not going to school today. We're all going to go to the beach and spend time together. But for me, it was like, that's what I needed, is the day off to just be us as a family together, unplugged on the beach. And
I can't believe you took the day off.
That's my balance, right? Like, I'm never afraid to take the day off. I'm totally fine being like, I'm going to clear my schedule. And you know what? Like, we all need just time as a family. I need time with my kids. I need mom time.
And it was so nice. You guys all showed up, and I didn't realize you took the day off until later, until maybe the end of the day.
But that's kind of what I was saying about the IVF stuff. It's like,
you didn't show up saying we took the day off.
You gotta show up or not show up. You can't show up to someone and kind of like make them feel guilty that you came or that like you sacrificed something for them. That's not right. That's not really showing up. Same with your kids. It's like if you're trying to be present but you're on your phone, then you're not with them.
Well, you're not present.
Do your work. Do your trip or be with them. But like I think maybe that's also my secret is I'm able to really compartmentalize and segment time and where my brain is and which, you know, version of myself is in that moment.
Is present.
But it's not easy. We all have moments where like, you know, you feel like the walls are caving in. I certainly have moments where I'm like, what did I sign myself up for? Is anyone, you know, does any of this resonate? You know, where am I going? Am I on a hamster wheel? I mean, look, even with the book, it's scary. It is scary to actually write something and put it out in the world and have it judged. Like, I'm not a writer, but
you're smart and you're eloquent.
But I didn't want to do a writer? I did not do a ghostwriter.
Oh, I didn't even ask you that.
Because I sort of was like, I feel like I would spend more time editing their stuff and I think it would annoy me more. And I was just like, I don't actually think it will save me time. Doesn't mean I'm a better writer. I don't think I am. But I think I would have a hard time. Sort of like we had a very bare bones team for the cookbook for that reason too. It's like, then it doesn't look like yours. It looks like someone else's. And I was sort of like, you know what? If I'm writing a book, I want to write it.
Yeah.
Like if I'm taking on this challenge, which is crazy, expensive, time consuming, long, arduous, humbling. Like there's nothing more humbling than having something edited by people, let me tell you. Like watching a page bleed and you're just like, okay, But I was sort of like, if I'm doing this, I want it, just like if I show up, I'm going to show up. If I'm doing it, I want to do it. I want to dig deep and be like, this is a moment of growth. I'm going to add a title to my byline that didn't exist before, but if I'm going to do it, I have to do it.
So
brutal. I mean, brutal. Writing is very hard. All my friends were actual writers. I'm like, man, this is really difficult. And they're like, yes.
It's really hard. It's really hard.
It's vulnerable. It's emotional. And, you know, you're in your head and then it gets out into the world and you have no idea.
It's very vulnerable. Your mind is naked.
Totally. I had a recent interview and I said, it's funny because I was a drawer and painter growing up. I was very into art. It's kind of like a self-portrait. I mean, when you write, I mean, especially a cookbook, when it's your style, your recipes, your perspective, your narrative, your history of like why you wrote each recipe, it's a self-portrait. Right. And it's hard to put that out there. But again, I was just like, I'm writing it for myself. And if everyone hates it, like I still learn something. I do things for the love of the game for myself.
It's so great.
And I think it's the only way I can cope with like not caring about being judged.
Is that your version of inner success? Like just doing what you want to do for you?
Do you do the Enneagram?
No.
Okay, we are gonna, part 2 of this is me assessing Claire and her Enneagram. And we have to do one for you and Greg. So the Enneagram has a lot of like interesting history, but it's essentially archetypes. But instead of like personality exams, the way that a lot of other people do them, it's actually about what motivates you. So it's that inner judge of success. What is your gas, right? Like what's your version of fuel? Not what other people see, not what you put out into the world. Like what gets you up in the morning, like, and your heart racing. So mine, no surprise, is a 7, the enthusiast. And it's basically like more is more is more. I want to maximize every minute of every day and like just take it all on. And it's very intrinsically directed and motivated.
Yeah, that sounds pretty spot on. I feel like I'm kind of there.
And I would say like I'm competitive, but I'm competitive with myself, not anyone else.
You're not competitive with anyone else.
No.
You're a big supporter.
We gotta help each other. I think we all have hard enough narratives on our own.
I know.
I think that's why I'm very vocal about helping
Being
other
supportive.
people and helping people believe what they want to believe about themselves because like you said, we're hard on ourselves.
We're
all
so
are.
hard on ourselves. I'm really hard on myself. I don't have a lot like you're ugly, you're XYZ. It's more like you really shouldn't drink alcohol anymore. You really need to make more money. Why are you doing that? It's like just like, you know, I wake up every day being like, today I will be sober. It never happens. Even though I didn't drink for 6 years, you know. I mean, my relationship with substance is another episode. But I don't know. I just feel like you're not.
I mean, you're talking to someone who didn't do a drug till 30 years old.
I know, but now you're into them. Maybe we don't have to talk about it.
Okay. I'm open.
I mean, you're just open and explorative and...
I had a very, I think it's gotten less so in my older age, but younger, I feel like I had a very addictive personality. And I kind of know that about myself. And there's like family history there. So honestly, I never did anything for that reason because I was like, I don't know, like I might fall down the rabbit hole. I'm like, I got too much to lose and too much going on.
Yeah. Do you think your dad and his vision with his company has really motivated you to kind of be an innovator in yours, in your industry?
It's an interesting thing.
I mean, he is kind of a big deal in his industry. He is a big deal.
I think my whole family has a big value system for entrepreneurial efforts. I also think both my parents raised us to be very community oriented. They're both very philanthropic and like even when we were younger, you know, it was like we always volunteered. And I don't just mean like donating. I mean like actually being part of programs.
Yeah.
We went to soup kitchens regularly. Like we were very involved in many different things in Los Angeles. And so I also think just this sense of we have the power to create change and change is important and someone has to step up and say, we've got to do it better and we have to take the next step in a better direction. I definitely think that's instilled by my parents.
Thank you for being here.
This is so fun.
And sharing and opening up. It really means a lot.
I'm sorry I didn't cry.
Getting vulnerable in front of the cam. No, it was beyond. It was great. So, thank you.
You set a high bar. I got to fulfill it.